Hi, Gary.
Kathy.
I'm Kathy, and I'm with the Bog. Been with the Bog since 2009. So I'm going to tell you what little I know about the Bog. Follow me. So normally we would go back here and I would talk about the bog filter, but we can't get back to the bog filter right now. So we'll talk about what is in bloom right now. A Rangoon creeper over here is starting to bloom. Our candlestick is starting to bloom. This is one of our bog stars. And this is the orchid tree. It's a scarlet. And you can tell it's a bauhinia because bauhinias have the cloven leaf. And all bauhinias have this leaf. Bauhinias can be anywhere from a foot tall to 25 feet tall. And you can pretty well tell how big the flowers are going to be and how big the tree is or bush is going to be by the size of the leaves. So it's kind of interesting. This one has been pruned back. Like this is a third of the size it was. It just keeps getting bigger every year. So back over here, so I think the only way we're going to be able to talk about the bog filter is to come to the bridge. So let's go to the bridge. And from here, this is the bog filter in the back. The Bog actually built this ourselves, and what it does, it is a natural filter for the pond. Originally, when I came here, this rock, this bubbler rock, was at the head, and there was like a stream that came through, and it acted as a bog filter. The problem with it was it wasn't large enough. And so when they built this up, it just was murky and we had problems with algae and all kinds of things. So this bog filter is built for the size of this pond. And so you can see the water is nice, it's clear.
Yeah.
The bog filters are cleaned once a year, and all that gravel that is collecting the muck from the pond, that has to be removed once a year. So here we have, and over on your left here is the other bog filter that was done professionally. And so we have here two ponds separated by the bridge. As you'll note, pond 1 is a little higher than pond 2. We have two different kinds of water lilies in these ponds. Unfortunately, they're not blooming right now, but we have both hardy and tropical. And the tropicals need to have water at least 70 degrees in order to start coming to life. Where hardies, they come to life very much sooner. So, where did the bog get its name? The topography of the extension is, this area is the lowest point. And as we all know, when it rains here, it pours. And so the water naturally comes to this point. And that's how we got the name the bog, because at certain times of the year, this center area is a bog. The rest of the bog garden is not bog plants, obviously. So follow. If you have any questions, be sure to ask, okay? And we have Wara here. Lots of goodies. This is, you can see how this works differently. We have the pipes going from the pond and up and into, goes underneath, it bubbles up and then comes down. Pond 2 at one time had a an issue because the water table here is high, because of the fact the water runs down here. You may not see it on the surface, but it was so strong that even with these cinder blocks and so on, the liner came up and was floating in places, and the cinder blocks were knocked over. It caused this pond to fail, and that's why we had a new pond built by master gardeners. Underneath this liner are 2 perforated pipes, and they come up and down, and they come to this point. Under this stack of rocks is a sump pump. And when the water reaches a certain point, it comes on, removes the water from between the ground and the liner, and is pumped to the bog area.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
How beautiful is that? So we have lots of, these are bog plants. We have the spider lilies. We have the butterfly bush. We have mojito. Now, this is something that I find interesting is, yes, they're gorgeous. Now, they are alocasias and calocasias. You can tell this is a calocasia because you'll note that the stem comes from here and then continues up, and there's still leaf back here. And because of that, the calocasias point down. On the other hand, back here, we have alocasias. And the way I remember alocasias is because you can note the stem comes right here and it goes right up here. There's not anything behind it. And because of that, see the difference? This, how I remember alocasia and calocasias, alocasia is altitude. They're looking up. So when you're first starting to learn something, and it's important to know the difference between an alocasia and calocasia because they have different growing needs, sun and water and so on. May I have a hand?
He's like the shade, right?
Well, it depends because these, both alocasias and calocasias, this area has water. It's protected so either one of them will grow here well. But the ones that need the most water, look around there. Those you can see where it's at. Those are calocasias, right? They need more water, but they'll take more sun. Alocasias will take less water and they need more shade. And we have hollies. These are tomatoes. We have all kinds of angelonia. This amaryllis is new and happy, angelonia. This is one of my favorite trees, a ginkgo tree, and I love it. This is our meeting area, and that's after you've worked in the garden. You can sit here and enjoy yourself, and we'll talk about the day, or they will. This is a mix of all kinds of wonderful things, including bromeliads. An interesting thing about bromeliads is that they feed their water from, you notice they have little cups, and they collect water, and they're from like Hawaii and so on. And that's mainly how they water themselves, is from the center of the leaves. So if you have them, you can just water that, and they're happy, and they're not being swamped, which they don't like. So this is our reflective mirror, it's to reflect the garden.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. So here we go. Follow me. I love, this is the little ginger thing, and we have dancing ladies, which I love, and all kinds of little gingers here, and Christmas, white Christmas caladiums.
Selection is distinctly bog.
No, it is not.
So I've noticed the tomatoes and other
Oh yeah, that's what I say on the outside. We had eggplant, huge eggplant last year. Back here is our Texas Star Hibiscus. This is the red one. And down there is a Texas Star Hibiscus, and it's a white one. So this area here, we have little dwarf crinums here. This area I find very interesting, the history of it. This berm right here was built because they wanted to plant this plant. It's a hill country plant. Does anybody know what it's called? It's a mountain laurel. So, because think about the soil here in Montgomery County compared to the soil in the hill country. The hill country is alkaline, sandy, rocky. When they built this, they actually intentionally recreated, they put shale and sand and soil, and they lifted it because baby hill country trees do not like to have wet feet. And so this, now that it's established, you know that the root system is equal to where it's going. So it's in the soil now, but this was to give it a good head start, and it's doing very well, I think. I'm thinking it's 24 years old. So, do you have any other questions? I'd like to thank you very much for coming and visiting us in the bog.